Hi everyone, this is Melissa with The Creative Season as we go into an in-between project. Sometimes when I don't quite know what to do next after we've finished a big collection like the garden series and I'm not quite ready to move on to the next series, I don't want to stay stagnant. I want to keep painting. So a lot of times I'll just go back to some of the pictures of what I didn't paint, and that's what I'm doing this week with this gorgeous flower from my mom's garden. And it is a blend of splattering and using some of the summer colors, a little bit of blending. It turned out really lovely. I hope you enjoy it. Hey everyone, well, welcome back. We are doing what I'm calling the in-between sessions because I am in between the garden series, which we finished last week, and then moving on to something else. And so as I was thinking today, I thought we're just going to paint another beautiful flower from my mom's garden. And I don't even know what kind of flower this is, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And it's really yellow, big, 5 petals, pink in the center. We've got a lot of leafy greens coming out, and I thought we're just going to do an in-between painting. And what I call it in-between is simply the things we do where we want to keep moving forward, right? We don't want to stay stagnant or stay still, which can be move into stagnation, but I'm not quite sure on the next series. So again, playing with some ideas in my mind. I'm going to get everything wet, and I'm going to talk a little bit about in-between times and then a little bit about this beautiful painting. I'm going to start with some pink. I'm going to do some splattering, I think, today too, just because I'm feeling kind of in that mood. So hopefully you can see, yes, you can see everything. The lighting's a little quirky. It's super bright out, and I'm filming at a different time of day, and so the sun is kind of rising, and it was throwing all sorts of weird shadows and bright light. So I thought, well, that's not gonna work really, is it? So here we go. We're gonna just make the most of this. And I don't know if you can tell too in the picture, this part, that pink around the rim, it's almost like fading into the yellow where it turns a little bit orange. So I wanna play off that, but I wanna be careful with that too. Now I am gonna say though, I wanna do some splattering this morning. So I'm gonna take my masking tape, put a piece of paper over it because I don't want to get that part smeared. So I'm just going to go like this. I think actually a little bit bigger. I'm going to go like this, and I'm just going to do some splatters around the edges. And that way I'm not going to get the inside wet because I do want that to be pure yellow for the most part, maybe a little bit of color. And then we'll just take that off. That looks great. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to go back around. I'm going to start getting my yellow wet. And if you have a cadmium yellow light or a lemon yellow, either one of those are going to work really, really nicely. And if you look too at the picture, there is a sense, there's almost like lines. You can see like lines going through here. So I'm going to emulate those lines as I am starting to paint. And then we'll end up doing a wash. I did go ahead and sketch in Micron pen this morning so you could see it. And again, we're going a little bit faster today. I almost didn't. I realized I have been releasing every Wednesday, and I woke up this morning and I thought I didn't do a recording. It is Wednesday. I'm actually recording the day morning of before I start work and all the things. And definitely a really busy time. I found though too as okay, so see how we're like getting a little pink in there? I think that's fine. I'm gonna let it play. I'm not gonna really worry about it bleeding into it. I kind of want that this morning. So just thinking too about, it's been very, very busy. Busy summer, good busy, but incredibly busy. Some unexpected things happening, and those in-between times where you just sometimes need to stop. For me, painting a lot of times, just coming into the studio and painting for a couple of minutes, even if it's just 15-20 minutes, can help stop and quiet my mind, which tends to be going a lot, many miles a minute. I'm sure many of you are like that too. All right, we're just coming around here. I'm now going to start taking some of that yellow and then going around my edges. And in between times are important times. It's looking back, right, at the things that have happened, looking back over the season of summer, looking at the garden series and what we created with that, looking back at activities, things done, things that were left undone, what needs to move back into this next season, what I can just let go of. Sometimes the in-between times wake up longing in my own heart that I need to pay attention to. Okay, we're just going to move around here. Okay, I'm going to take some yellow now. I'm going to dab it just around in the middle, right in here. And we're going to let that play together. I'm not really like painting, I'm just dabbing that yellow. We're going to let that play. I'm now going to take some more yellow. I'm actually going to sprinkle it around here all over the bottom. The reason I'm not trying to cover it is because I'm going to paint green, and yellow and green mixed together, that's fine. Well, the yellow mix, if I had done the pink splatters, we would have had a lot more orangey in the flower than I wanted. So now that I have that, I'm going to come back and grab my green. Pulling up my green, I've got some permanent green here. Okay, and then you can see I'm going to go ahead and just start moving that paint, letting it pick up some of the yellow. Sorry, there's some construction going on outside. Moving through here. I think in between times, in between seasons are very telling as well. So that transition between summer and fall, you know, the anticipation that starts to build for the next season. And yet we're still here in summertime, right? The things finishing up those activities. I was talking to someone the other day and just talking how difficult it is to finish things. Sometimes when you get to the very end of a season or a project and you're like 90% there, it can be very tempting to almost want to quickly cut corners or just even give up on things, just call it done, when we have to put, we really should put a little bit more effort into it. And I am going to close that door real quick. And we're not even going to edit that out. We're just going to leave it in. The interruption, I could probably incorporate that interruption, as that is often seasonal, right? Those things that are happening at the end of one season, we're trying to get to another season, and all the interruptions, all the inconveniences, all the challenges. I know that seems to be a common thread when we're in the in-between times, wanting to move forward to one thing and still very much present in something else. Okay, this is turning out pretty, isn't it? So what we're going to do too is see how there's a deeper green. If you have a hooker's green, you can add that other green into it. You could also add a little bit of blue if you wanted to the green. I'm just going to get the hooker's green for the sake of time this morning and adding in the darker green as I am ruminating on my thoughts, thinking about in-between times, thinking about the things I need to get done. And sometimes the things that just get left undone, right? And that's okay. That is okay. I was thinking the other day too of, you know, I want to do a few things well, preferably than to do a lot of things mediocre. And looking at what I would need to give up in order for that to happen. And that can be a very insightful conversation with yourself or with other people. Okay, this looks really pretty, right? This is looking really, really nice. We're gonna actually just finish up a little bit for an in-between painting. Sometimes the in-between things when you're playing with new things, or they can be a little bit not as good, but this was actually, this is fun. Moving into a new season, things feel a little bit sketchy, unsure, uncertain might be the better word. We're feeling new things out. Okay, and I'm feeling this out. Now I do want to come back and we add a little bit more pop. I actually want to take a little bit of green and do some splattering. I'm just going to lightly splatter just up here. Just a little bit, like not too much, but just wanted to get a bit of color going on in there. With the yellow, I think I'm going to just come back around. I'm going to come back, I'm going to grab some more yellow. If you had a darker yellow, like I have the cadmium yellow medium hue on there, that can be a fun way to add some depth. I'm using a few more colors than maybe I normally would for the sake of just needing to go, not having so much time to create a palette, using what's already on my palette. So this is a great way when you're in the in-between seasons too, to finish up what was already there so that we're not wasting finishing things. And so I like to do that as well. It's been a really good summer in so many ways. It's been a fast summer, but it's been a really good summer. It's been an intense summer, but I'm so grateful for all the things that have happened. Okay, this is really nice. I'm going to grab some more of that yellow. I'm going to just come down here even and just play with that, letting that play with the pink even. It's dry enough now where we're not going to, it's not going to merge too much. And I am going to pull just a little bit of it out. Pull a little bit of it down. If we were going into more detail, I'd probably put some purple in here to create some shadowing, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to just leave that as is, I believe. I am just going to take a little bit of yellow, and I'm going to touch up a little bit of my leaves with that yellow, just to bring that in there just a little bit, and that looks really nice. I will go ahead and take up a little bit of the hooker's green and a little bit deeper, darker right under that petal. Oops, I think I accidentally got an actual chunk of paint in there, didn't I? I did, so I'll have to pick that up. Okay, move that around here. Lovely. All right, you guys. Okay, well, this looks really beautiful. I'm so glad this hardly took any time. Do a few little bit more splatters down here. Our beautiful in-between flower. That took us an exciting 11 minutes. Isn't it amazing what can happen when we come in and just create for a little bit? I love this painting. Thank you for listening, talk about in-between seasons. And I will be back next week with painting more flowers and maybe moving into the next season of creating. I'll see you guys soon.